Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a message. So, whoever this message is for, when this message finds you, you are going to receive some sort of clarity or answer or solution from listening to this message. Okay, if you're new here, my name is Nella Love, and let's just tap in. Okay, so anything that I say here will be something that is going to help you evolve to a better version of yourself. It's going to help you be okay with wherever you are in your journey. Okay, it's going to provide some sort of guidance for you. So, whoever this message is for, some confirmations could be like, as a kid, you used to like to write poetry. For some of you, you like to write songs. These are things that you used to do. You're being asked to break free from certain constraints. Okay. And these constraints could come with your belief systems when it comes to, having family influence, politics, religion, whatever it is that may be influencing you from being your true self. Remove all those things and ask yourself, who do you want to be? How do you want to be? And learn how to build your own relationship with God outside of all these things. Okay. Now, for some of you, you were meant to break certain generational karmas or, you know, depending on your belief, but just like certain beliefs and things and certain patterns that you guys may have could come from things that your ancestors may have used to do because of their circumstance. And you're someone that's meant to go past that because you have more opportunity than they did. Now, for some of you, your ego could be what is making you make decisions that work against your growth. So you're being asked to evaluate, you know, what is it that you've actually been doing, and even if this means admitting that that there has been ways in which your ego self may have pushed you to, belittle someone or do some form of injustice to someone, allow yourself to right that wrong. Okay, and to see parts of yourself that you've avoided in the past that you didn't want to hold yourself accountable for. View those parts of yourself so that you can be able to find a way to integrate it and to allow it to be the very thing that enables support and you being guided and just evolving in your future. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, when you are able to see, you know what, maybe I could be a little egotistical. Maybe I could operate out of my ego. Maybe I need to change the way that I deal with this. When you can do the self evaluation and you can be honest and transparent, it allows you to be able to build a deeper relationship with yourself. For some of you, Scorpio energy could be significant, whether the Scorpio season, think about the things you've been doing in Scorpio season. Scorpio could be in your chart, or you could be a Scorpio. Either way, take it as it resonates. But you could be someone that just you need things that are filled with depth. Like your soul is urging for you to go deep. Your experience is could be very superficial, right? Or admitting in certain ways where you could be superficial in certain areas of your life. Whatever your particular problem may be, or habit, or routine may be, or pattern may be, okay? Now, right now, you are being called to be alone so that you can be able to release and let go and overcome the subconscious limiting beliefs that stop you from getting to the next level, or to break that generational pattern off of your family bloodline, right? So for some of you, there could be a wound that you need to heal around um understanding what is healthy competition versus what is operating out of your ego. And there could be things where you could be operating out of your ego instead of viewing your peers or looking at the progression of the industry that you're in, whatever it is. It's like, make sure that what you are doing, it has purpose. And for some of you, it's like your purpose may have been one thing for the past 10 years of your life, and now you're being called to shift in a different direction. And in this direction, it may be that you have to collaborate with somebody else, somebody that's different, someone that you never worked with before, but a healthy connection of mutual respect, someone that actually wants to work with you as a team, and you being present. And yes, there may be challenges, but it's like healthy challenges. It's like someone who will motivate you and lead you to personal growth, right? Just through the interaction that you have with them, just from you allowing them to take leadership, or for you to just stand in your leadership role. Because whoever you are, you're meant to be you are always a leader. You're naturally a leader, and you're meant to lead a way with a different way in how you can have financial freedom, in a different way in how you can collaborate, you know, just being the example of the change that we need to see in the world. That is a part of your mission here. And however you choose to do that based on your industry, it varies. But who I'm speaking to, you are someone that is very psychic, intuitive, clairvoyant. You know, there's a mystical depth to you, and you just have this inner knowing. You're very wise. And you could relate to being like an old soul. And you're someone that you know what it's like to experience different cycles of life, where there's death, there's failure, where you have to rebuild yourself again, where there's conflict, where your own vices can inhibit you, or, just you could be someone that's needing to be self aware, or you are very self aware. And you learned how to accept everything in life, the suffering, the beauty, the just everything. You just learn how to accept it. And you're mastering, or you're a master at letting go. Okay. You could be somebody, you pay attention to the birds. Maybe you constantly see crows when you go outside. Maybe you may look outside and casually see the moon when it's in a phase where it can be seen, right? But where you are right now in the journey, it's where you're just meant to walk in this unknown territory. You have the ring here. You're meant to walk in this unknown territory where this particular territory is just meant for you to trust your intuition, for you to trust that inner guidance that you may not see, but you see, you feel, okay? You have to allow yourself to surrender. Surrender to being present in the unknown. Because this particular part where you are, where you may feel lost, you don't know what's next. You don't know what you want to do. You are just feeling lost. It's simply because you're at a point where you have to learn yourself. You have to go deeper, because you're meant to build yourself in this season. So embrace uncertainty. Make sure that you seek your truth. Dig deep within yourself and see what is it that you need to work on. Seek your truth. Okay, and trust that there will be a time where you will be able to feel again, because also for some of you, you have been so tapped out of your emotions, so tapped out of your heart space. It's like, you know how to say sticks and stones won't break my bones, but words will never hurt. It's like the sticks and stones hurt, and so did the words. And you are literally, you have built this cage around your heart, this nest, which is just a protection barrier, because you know that you can lose people. You know what it's like to be hurt. And this is something that you could have learned at a young age. And for some of you, the way that you integrate this energy that you feel internally, where it's like you know how to be alone, you know how to, do what needs to be done. It's like you're balanced. You know when you need to let go of the need to be right, because you already had an inner knowing and there's nothing to be said. You know when you've experienced life where you've had personal encounters with God. You're not new to this journey of life. This is something that you've eventually, life has trained you to become numb so that you can be able to navigate and pivot when things happen in life, because this is something that you're so accustomed to. And because of that, you've allowed yourself to, you know, your nervous system remembers you at that point. And now you're in a place of your life where things are going great, and a lot of positive is coming, and you still feel lost. You still feel, you know um like you're missing something. And for some of you, it's like what you are missing and what you will need will be a connection that forces you to surrender and to be present, that's just going to help you deepen your connection with yourself. You're going to go through an experience that you have to do what makes your heart feel alive. You have to operate out of a space of what you love. You know, this part of your journey is meant to teach you growth, solid independent growth within yourself, within your emotions, within your mind, body, spirit, and to be okay to search for new meaning of life, especially when a part of your whys or part of the people and the things that you used to work towards you have already accomplished, or maybe those people have transitioned on, or they have already received those things. It's like it's time for you to set new goals, but it's not as far as material wise, but more spiritual wise. It's time for you to allow wisdom to come in and allow yourself to be uncomfortable. Be okay with being uncomfortable, because whatever it is, it's meant to take your life in a new direction. When it comes to you being able to learn how to face conflicts, finding healthy ways to deal with your issues, or to find solutions to your issues, find ways to strengthen your relationships. You could just be evaluating all of that. Like, do I want to strengthen this? I've been honest enough, and someone can't see me the way that I need to be seen. Or is it the way that you see yourself? Are you needing to face the conflict so that you could get the real reason beneath why you feel the way that you feel about yourself. Because it's like sometimes around, you may feel conflict around your emotions, where you may feel an emotion and it's really triggered by a deeper emotion, because you haven't even asked yourself, where is this anger coming from? And then when you address it, you may start to cry. You pay attention to how you feel in your body, and you realize, like, oh, I have been holding on to this energetically for some time, and I just needed to feel it so that I could release it. Because you're at a point in your life now where you want to experience peace and calm with just wherever you are in your life, because you know that you have a plan, you have an idea, and you trust the unknown. Or this is something that you will learn to trust. You trust the unknown, because trusting the unknown allows you to see what direction is it that you are naturally going to go in. When you can just rely on your intuition, where can it take you? Right? Because you can plan. You know how they have that saying where you make a plan and God laughs? And that's just because life happens. And the decisions that you might have made 5 years ago, 10 years from now, you don't no longer see it in alignment. You have to be able to go in a new direction courageously. You can't be fearful, because when you are afraid, or when you allow the fear to take over, the thing is like, admit that I'm afraid. Is it that I'm afraid, or is it that there's a inner child to me that was told I would never be able to do something, or I don't want to walk away from what I'm comfortable with? Whatever it is, facing it on, right? Allowing yourself to do something new, it can lead you to a better work and personal life. It can allow you to have the material and spiritual needs being met, especially for some of you where maybe 10 years ago you didn't have kids, but now you have kids, or now you're planning to have kids, and you know that you want to have the time to spend with your children, to enjoy them, right? For some of you, it's like you have to work on repairing a relationship that was once fractured, because it's what's going to heal doubts about loyalty or uncertainty within a relationship. Or for some of you, this is something that you've constantly experienced in your relationships, where people show you why you cannot trust them. Um, People show you why you need to have emotional barriers, or you use this defense of having emotional barriers, not being fully vulnerable, learning how to mask your feelings, like making people think that it's deeper than what it really is, in terms of you saying your emotions. It's like you could go deeper, but you don't, because you know that the people that you're connected to don't have the capacity to hold your emotional depth. And because you want to avoid conflict, you just kind of sweep things over the rug. For some of you, this could be a way that you are with friends, because you don't want it to be problems. you kind of sweep certain behaviors under the rug where you know that there's things that these people need to work on that you've already worked on. And the way that they show up could be a liability to your future. A liability to your vision. And you're at a point where you want people that you could connect to both emotionally and physically. You can't take the surface connections anymore. And the reason why is simply because you are tired of not feeling connected to yourself. So it's like the things that you truly desire and that you're growing away from when it comes to your relationships and the things that you're evaluating is just truly a reflection of what you really want to give to yourself. And you want to separate from the past. So it's like you want new experiences. That's it. You just want new interactions. You want to go down a new path. And it's like what I'm getting from this is that this has nothing really to do with love or like one thing per se. It's just like you just wanted to go down a path of creativity, of just digging deep into your creativity, digging deep into yourself, especially if you're a creative person. So it's like you just want to really be present with yourself and see where that takes you. See where you're being present with your creativity can take you. And setting boundaries with the people that you have in your life where it's like, you know what? I am tied to these people. I do want to attract new connections, but I have to be able to separate myself from certain time that I'm spending with certain people so that I could be able to take that time and spend it on my creativity. And when you sit with that creativity, it's going to create new opportunities for yourself because you're going to be able to progress personally and professionally because whoever you are, you are the blueprint. You are the blueprint. You narrate the story. You are the visionary. That's what you're meant to do. You're meant to learn certain things, teach it back to others, right? Allow yourself to go on an adventure, but you're meant to be someone you're in this phase where you're meant to build intimate relationships with yourself, with your finances, with your future self, your higher self, your goals, the things and the people that you want to attract, the bonds that you want to attract by simply showing up confidently when you're by yourself. So that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to go on this journey alone. Because maybe the people that you are over sacrificing for, you may need to just make some boundaries, right? So that could be, you know what, instead of spending this amount of time with you, I could spend this amount of time and I can invest it in something else, you know, so that I can learn some things, so that I can study my craft, you know, going to, you know, just study yourself, study your emotions, study your body, the way that your body responds. Like I'm speaking to people that are deep, that wants to go deeper, that is lacking depth in their day to day, in their relationships. And for some of you, there's clairvoyance. Your clairvoyance is being activated. Your clairs, that gift of inner knowing, having awareness, trusting your intuition, being tapped in, like you're tapped in. You know what you really, really want. So it's like you could be around a bunch of things, but you still feel detached. You could be detached from the people that you currently have in your reality, where you're realizing like, this is just a path where I just got to go on alone. Nobody don't take this personal. I'm just on something that is really personal. And you allow yourself to go on an adventure, and you're open to meeting people along the way, but you're not expecting to meeting people along the way, because this is just about you building a relationship with yourself and getting to know yourself. And for you, you have to be alone in order to do that. You got to eat right. You got to have good daily habits. Okay? You got to make different choices by the things that you eat, by the things that you listen to, by connecting with different types of people. You're somebody that you can't be boxed into being around one set of people, knowing one set of people, tapping into one set of revenues, of income. Just, you're a multi-dimensional person. And as you enter this new phase and you're currently going through this breakthrough, or when you go in this isolation, you will go through a breakthrough of relearning yourself again, discovering new ways to attack success, learning how to break away from jealousy, right? Even if that's jealousy that you may have within yourself, right? And addressing it and seeing that, is it really jealousy, or is it really your inner child that never had anything and felt like you would never be able to, have a certain type of lifestyle. So this is like something so simple as someone has grown up with a healthy relationship around them, and you grew up in a broken home, and you kind of have this, a little look when you see people who are together. Or is it that is it that you just really want love? It's not that you're jealous. You just want the love, the support, the whatever yourself. How can you focus on what is it that you really want? So it's like, be curious about your emotions. Ask, why am I feeling anger? Why am I feeling horny? You could be creating a song or writing a poem. Like I said, to those of you who write, you could be creating something and all of a sudden feel horny. That's your creativity, your creative senses being turned on, creating some sort of flow, right? In that sacral energy, that womb area. Okay, let's what is the closing message for this collective? On the brighter side, although you suffer with all this anxiety, this feeling of resentment or regret, anger, unsure, PTSD, all these things that you suffer from, you still are determined to keep your faith and to trust that everything will work itself out. You still find a way to be grateful. You still find a way to see the joy in just being alive. Just embracing every moment, just being happy. a very light-hearted energy, regardless of what it is that you go through. And when you allow yourself to be anchored in that, while trusting the unknown, while going down a path where it requires solitude and having to move away from certain people and things, and you're questioning and unsure if you're doing the right thing, but it is what you need to do in order to free yourself from the outside noises that stop you from doing the inner introspection of self. Because the clarity that you're looking for is going to come when you trust in the uncertainty, but also when you do the work. When you trust that the work on yourself is going to account for something, and not because you don't see a tangible thing means that working on your creativity, if you believe in yourself and your dreams, right? And you know that you are the blueprint, you know that you are highly creative, you're just going to allow yourself to be anchored in doing less so that you could become more, spending less so that you can become more. And spending doesn't necessarily have to be a value, right? It's what you find value. Spending could be, why would I be around somebody that I have to constantly pour into to help them believe in themselves when I have goals that I have to tackle for myself? Why not be around people that have goals to tackle and they want to do better, and you can collaborate with those like-minded individuals to do better, and that's even if you meet them, because regardless of if you connect with people who want to be better, your desire to be better is enough to keep you going. So why not preserve your energy into being alone so that you can be able to figure out who you are, what you need to unlearn, what patterns you may need to release, what vice you may need to give up, especially if when it comes to your sexual life. Is there a desire to, you know, to have multiple experiences? Or is that a wound or a generational habit that was passed down to you? And that was the way that maybe the man or woman of your family dealt with their stress. And is it really just stress, or is it that your ego is allowing you to make decisions that push you further away from growing, right? Which could be something so simple like, I wanted that thing because somebody else had it and I know that I can have it too. Versus, I just want what's real, what's going to be accepting of me. You have to ask yourself, are you doing things rooted out of love, or are you doing it out of ego just to say, I had that or I have this? Do you truly, truly love it? Do you love how it smells? Do you love how it tastes? Do you love the way that it makes your body feel? Can you even pay attention to the way it makes your body feel? Are you that aware? Right? So, anyways, this is the message that I have for you guys. Drop in the comments what is something that you're going to release. Drop in the comments and affirm, come into agreement that You will trust your process and you trust the unknown, and you're going to be present, and you're not going to be too fixated on the future, nor are you going to dwell in the past, but you're just going to be and just enjoy what a outing may be giving you in that moment in time, not thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner, but just being there, interacting with other people, okay? Getting back out there in the community. How can you give back to your community? How can you give back? In what ways can you give people more than they bargain for when they come into your existence? It's not always about this. Sometimes it's about this. And this is a chapter where you guys are going to learn what it's like to truly experience people and things and environments that are filled with people who truly do things from the heart. There's a dynamic where you guys are going to enter into where you're going to learn how to love again, how to feel again. And sometimes it is the very thing that God just needs you to do. Sometimes it's not getting the next thing, hitting the next goal. It's just experiencing a human connection that impacts you and changes you in a way that you will never forget. Something so simple. The very thing that you may need to allow you to get your spark back and move forward again and get that zest for life again. Okay? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.